He was sitting right in the corner and seemingly oblivious is what our reporters are telling us. Quite like what went down when Bhupendra Yadav was told in Gujarat that he was going to be the chief minister. But to put the spotlight on this man, Bhupendra Patel, that he was going to be the chief minister in Gujarat. But to put the spotlight on this man, Shiv, interesting. He's been bloodied in the line of Bharatiya Janata Party politics. He's been a student ABVP leader. He's held the seat twice now. He's won it the third time around, which is South Ujjain. Interesting dynamic, because what was the quandary? The quandary and the question where the BJP came in was, will they replace Shivraj Singh Chouhan? And if they did, they will need an OBC face to do so. One of the rounds that were named, that was making the rounds, was that of Prahlad Patel, a Lodi OBC, a cabinet minister who had tendered in his resignation. Many would have thought, many speculations were that it could be Prahlad Patel, if not Shivraj. But body language says a lot, Shiv. We just saw Shivraj Singh Chouhan, who was so vocal up till yesterday, constantly giving sound bites, talking to the camera. It's a huge blow to Shivraj Singh Chouhan. It might be a generational shift or a huge shift in Madhya Pradesh politics, because the dynamics from here will completely change. What now? How will Shivraj Singh Chouhan be accommodated? That's the big question. But let's put the spotlight. You have a Narendra Tomar. Imagine this is what the BJP does.
Yes.
And this could very well be the discipline of the Bharatiya Janata Party. A man who was the agriculture minister till 2 days ago will now be the speaker in Madhya Pradesh. They've taken in all caste dynamics. You have an OBC, you have a tribal, and you have an upper caste. If you come down to the 3 levels, which is the chief minister and the 2 deputy chief ministers, and of course Narendra Tomar, who comes in as the speaker.
Absolutely. Preeti, I'm going to come back to you. Polomi is also with us on the ground. I just want to get some sound in from there. Let's go big with those pictures. Try and get some sound in. Dr. Mohan Yadav being completely inundated with bouquets. Nobody knows who those bouquets were intended for. Let's listen in. Let's just listen in.
Mohan Bhai Sahab. Mohan Bhai Sahab. Mohan Bhai Sahab. Arey Mohan Bhai Sahab.
Is the man everyone wants to get close to, be in the frame with, thrust the flowers that they're holding into his hands, because he's persona number 1 in Madhya Pradesh suddenly. As Preeti said, he was probably sitting in a corner. Who knows?
He was sitting in a corner. I was just looking at, what was interesting was, Shiv, I was actually looking at when all of them came together.
Could it have crossed his mind, is my question. Could it have crossed his mind that he may be a possibility?
I doubt it.
He must have been happy seeing his name not on the list.
I doubt it. I doubt it if it had crossed his mind. To be honest, I really want to know, when was, Mr. Yadav, Dr. Mohan Yadav, told that he was going to be the chief minister? Did he hear it?
Yeah.
And that's what I want to know. And, indication, Shiv, if I was Vasundhara Raje Scindia, because tomorrow the action shifts to Rajasthan, the writing's on the wall. If they can remove Shivraj Singh Chouhan, who's come in, with a pro-incumbency vote, and especially the kind of commentary coming in from him, it was. And the kind, and it was a wave election, and a lot of credit, of course, goes to Mr. Chouhan as well. If he can be removed, we can well imagine who the Rajasthan chief minister would be. But having said that, let's put the spotlight right now, Shiv, on the names that have come to light. Dr. Mohan Yadav is the new chief minister.
Preeti, stay with me for a moment.
Yes,
I'll come right back to you, because Hemendra is with us and he has Dr. Mohan Yadav's nephew with him. Over to you, Hemendra, family member of the new chief minister of Madhya Pradesh.
Well, thank you so much. I have, it's Mama time in Madhya Pradesh. I mean, one Mama has gone and I have someone with me, of whom the next chief minister of Madhya Pradesh is the Mama, Mr. Prem Yadav. He's also a corporator. पहले तो सबसे पहले बधाई हो आपको. सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए कि आपका जो अगले मुख्यमंत्री मध्य प्रदेश के होने वाले मोहन यादव हैं, उनसे क्या संबंध है?
मेरे मामा हैं वो मोहन यादव जी. मैं बाबा महाकाल के आशीर्वाद मोहन जी पर रहे. 3 बार विधायक रहे हैं उज्जैन दक्षिण से. और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष भाई और मोदी जी और प्रदेश अध्यक्ष, इन सबका मैं धन्यवाद करता हूं, जो मोहन यादव जैसे सबसे छोटे नेता को आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने मुख्यमंत्री बनाया. मैं उन सबका धन्यवाद करता हूं.
अच्छा, आपने कभी सोचा था कि मामा जी मुख्यमंत्री बन जाएंगे?
नहीं सोचा था मैंने, लेकिन बाबा महाकाल का आशीर्वाद रहा.
एक मामा जी हटे, दूसरे
मामा जी आ गए.
दूसरे बड़े वाले मामा जी कौन से हुए जो गए हैं? आए
जो मामा शिवराज सिंह चौहान मामा थे, और ये भी मामा है हमारे. मोहन यादव जी।
अच्छा, क्या उम्मीदें हैं अब मोहन यादव जी से मध्य प्रदेश के लिए? आपको क्या लगता है? आपके परिवार में इतिहास बनाया है, अभी आपके परिवार से जो मोहन यादव जो मुख्यमंत्री बने, क्या उम्मीद है आपको? क्या लगता है मध्य प्रदेश का क्या चेंज हो जाएगा?
मध्य प्रदेश में जो भी काम है मोहन यादव जी करेंगे, हमें पूरा विश्वास है। बाबा महाकाल की नगरी के हैं वो, और मोहन यादव पूरे प्रदेश भर में सबका ध्यान रखेंगे और ये देश चलाएंगे।
आपकी बात हुई मामा जी से?
अभी हुई, मामा जी को मैंने अभी बधाई दी, अंदर ही गए थे, उस टाइम में उनसे मिला, उन्होंने कहा अभी निर्णय आएगा, जो भी आएगा अच्छा आएगा।
और मामी जी से भी बात हुई कि सिर्फ मामा?
नहीं, अभी हाल तो मामा से अब बात करेंगे, अभी निकलने का इंतजार कर रहे हैं हम सब।
मामी जी को इन्फॉर्मेशन टीवी के थ्रू ही मिली?
नहीं, टीवी के द्वारा मिल गई उनको, वो अभी मैंने बात करी तो उनको मिल गई सबको।
So it's back to you, Shiv. Very happy nephew of Mohan Yadav, the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, thanking God and thanking the top leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party. But as I said earlier, no one anticipated or expected such a huge surprise from the top leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
So Mama 2.0, Shivraj is over, the original Mama Ji is out. We don't know what's in store for him. We'll talk about that in a moment, but the spotlight is still fixed now on Dr. Mohan Yadav. These are pictures from him. He's still on stage. I take it. Okay, these are pictures from earlier today, a few minutes before he was actually anointed. Right now, he's being completely inundated with bouquets and malas and garlands and selfies and things like that. Let me bring Polomi in also. She's there in the middle of all this, post-announcement chaos. Polomi, is everyone still on stage? What's going on right now? Are we going to hear from Dr. Yadav?
Well, we will of course try to catch Dr. Mohan Yadav as he steps out, but at the moment what we've seen immediately is CM security go in, so he's likely to get into that CM carcade and leave from this venue over here in Bhopal. But nobody has stepped out at the moment. All you can hear is the dole. I would be able to show you some pictures if my camera person could pan, but there's a lot of network issues over here because already the jammers are in place, so it's being a little difficult, but you can hear the dole, you can hear the supporters. Also, of course, rejoicing in this moment that the party has finally chosen a name, but there are faces which are very confused as well, Shiv. I'll ask my camera person Madan to probably turn around the camera and you see those very confused faces over here, Shiv, because they did not see this name in the mix. They're happy that the party has finalized a name. They're happy.
I want to ask
that
you
the
a
party
question.
has chosen
Images here,
Dr.
Preeti, of Dr. Yadav's family. Yeah, go ahead, Preeti.
Follow me. I want to ask you a question. When did Dr. Yadav find out? Was it in announcement that he figured he was going to be the next chief minister, or did they give him at least a 5-10 minute to take it all in?
Well, going by the BJP's track record, he possibly just found out when his name was announced from the dais. This has happened in the past, so it will be no surprise. We'll find out, of course, as he steps out. I was narrating that instance of Bhupendra Patel when the man had no idea. He was sitting in the last row, just oblivious to what the proceedings. Dr. Narendra Tomar was making a long speech on the dais, Central Observer at that point of time, to the state of Gujarat. And this is the anecdote which I've been repeating, which is extremely funny, just gives you a sense of what happened. Someone just turned around and said, because it was a 45-minute long speech that Narendra Tomar was giving, someone turned around and said, "Sir, aap neta ban gaye." Bhupendra Patel turned and said, "Main to neta hoon." And the other gentleman said, "Sir, aap Vidhayak Dal ke neta ban gaye." And that's how Bhupendra Patel found out that he is now the Chief Minister designate of Gujarat.
The BJP likes playing with its Neta's emotions as well. Listen in to some of the first reactions coming in from the Yadav family, the family of the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Listen in.
हेलो हाँ वही सर बाइट चल रही है सर बाइट बोलो
सीढ़ी है कि कड़ी मेहनत से चढ़ी है, उसका फल आज हमारे मामा जी को हम सबको मिला है, क्योंकि उनने और ईमानदारी से बहुत ईमानदारी से करा है देश के लिए काम, तो उसका फल उनको मिला है।
आपके दिल में कभी ऐसा सोचा भी था आपने सपने में कि
हाँ हमने सोचा था, हाँ मेहनत किया था, भगवान ने फल दिया है और मेहनत करेंगे आगे चल के। हाँ बड़ी बहन बड़ी है। हाँ
दीदी ये दीदी है।
हाँ बड़ी दीदी हूँ जी।
बताइए आपको किस प्रकार से महसूस हुआ?
अरे बहुत खुशी हो रही है हमारे भाई जीता तो, और सभी का करते हैं और बहुत तरक्की करेंगे।
Here's Dr. Mohan Yadav speaking just before the announcement was made.
अपने मन से वास्तव में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ये होती जोरदार ताली बजाए मैं आप सबको प्रणाम करता हूँ और आप सबका धन्यवाद अदा करता हूँ। केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का, समूचे मंच का, मेरे जैसे छोटे से कार्यकर्ता को हमारे सभी मित्रों ने मिलकर कर आपके मार्गदर्शन में जो जवाबदारी दी, यद्यपि मैं उस लायक नहीं हूँ, लेकिन आप सबका प्रेम, आपका आशीर्वाद, सहयोग मिलेगा तो निश्चित रूप से मैं कोशिश करूँगा। एक बार फिर आप सबका आभार, धन्यवाद।
I beg your pardon. That was Dr. Mohan Yadav's first comment after being anointed the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. All of the leaders are still inside. We saw Shivraj Singh Chouhan, making his way off the stage so that the new Mamaji, gets the full uninterrupted spotlight as he is getting from all of those leaders who've made a justifiable beeline to the new man in the kursi of Madhya Pradesh. So Dr. Mohan Yadav, 57 years old, Ujjain Dakshin, 3-term MLA, elected again this year, of course, and is someone who became a minister in the Shivraj Singh Chouhan government in 2020, was in charge of higher education. He was cabinet minister for higher education in the Shivraj government. And now his former boss vacates that chair for Dr. Mohan Yadav. He is from the OBC community. He's a Yadav. So all of those are angles in this decision that comes 8 days after the BJP's very big win in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Mohan Yadav hasn't yet spoken. He just made these very brief comments after being named, thanking all his seniors and thanking the legislature party for choosing him and anointing him as the chief minister. But several other decisions today that also have a great deal of importance, whether it is Rajendra Shukla, Jagdish Devda, who are the two deputy chief ministers, Narendra Singh Tomar, former union minister who was made to fight in this election, is going to be the next assembly speaker. So a lot of leading lights and high-profile persons, but Dr. Mohan Yadav most definitely didn't expect this to happen. It's there on camera. He was sitting in a corner, and then his name was announced. It's the way the BJP rolls. It's the way the BJP does things. Polami, coming back to you for just a moment. I'm going to line up some of those family reactions for you in just a moment. But Polami, over the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of Shivraj Singh Chouhan. Sound bites. He's been in the headlines. He's been very, very visible. Would this have been a surprise to him? Was he really expecting to be retained?
Well, as far as Shivraj Singh Chouhan is concerned, I think he got the message for a while now. The fact that the BJP chose not to project him as the chief ministerial face going into these assembly elections, I beg your pardon, the message was very clear that the BJP was looking to change its chief minister if it won the assembly elections, that the BJP was not very happy with the anti-incumbency against Shivraj Singh Chouhan. They did realize that there was a lot of groundwork to do in order to cut through that anti-incumbency and ensure a BJP victory. Of course, it turned out to be a landslide victory. So the BJP says that there are many...
speaking to India today. Polami, coming right back to you.
मैं केंद्रीय नेतृत्व पे माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय यशस्वी गृह मंत्री, हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष नड्डा जी, मैं सभी का आभार मानता हूं, केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का। तो मोहन जी शिवराज सिंह चौहान, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान से आराम से उधर ले क्या हो रही है।
तो आप देख सकते हैं,
गिर जाओगे।
ये मोहन यादव थे जो आज तक पे बात कर रहे थे और यहाँ पे भगदड़ मच गई एक तरीके से। आज तक पे जब मोहन यादव पहुंचे हैं तो फिर उनसे बात करने के लिए बड़ी संख्या में लोग जो है वो मंच पे चढ़ गए। जगदीश देवड़ा, उप मुख्यमंत्री, जगदीश जी हम आपको उप मुख्यमंत्री बनाया गया है।
भाई अभी कोई अधिकृत जानकारी नहीं है मेरे पास।
अंदर क्या बातचीत हुई है?
अभी कोई बातचीत नहीं। अभी केवल नेता का चुनाव हुआ है और मोहन यादव जी अभी विधायक दल के नेता चुने गए। बधाई उनको, बहुत सारी बधाई, बहुत बधाई, शुभकामनाएं हमारी, और सब मिलके काम करेंगे।
प्राथमिकताएं क्या रहेंगी आपकी?
प्राथमिकताएं विकास, ये अभी तो मुख्यमंत्री जी का हुआ है, मोहन यादव जी अपने विधायक दल के नेता चुने गए हैं, उनको बधाई, उनको शुभकामनाएं जी।
तो आपको क्या जिम्मेदारी दी गई है?
अभी कोई अधिकृत जानकारी नहीं है,
तो ये है उप मुख्यमंत्री पद के लिए जगदीश देवड़ा का जो नाम आया था। एक बार फिर से हम बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे मोहन यादव से। हालांकि हमने बात की थी तब, और मोहन यादव से तब हम जब बात कर ही रहे थे तो बड़ी संख्या में लोग जो है वो पहुंच गए थे। देखिए अब एक बार फिर से मोहन यादव जो है वो प्रदेश कार्यालय की ओर जा रहे हैं, जहां पे मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जो हैं वो मौजूद हैं और उनसे मिलने जा रहे हैं मोहन यादव।
Okay, that was Dr. Mohan Yadav briefly speaking to India today, and then Jagdish Devda, who's the Deputy Chief Minister, being very careful, saying, I haven't heard anything yet. Most of these announcements obviously coming in through the media. The family is also hearing all about it through the media. We've just heard that the family of Dr. Mohan Yadav has heard about it through Aaj Tak. So all of this, this is still a story in motion. Let's listen in once again, Dr. Mohan Yadav.
मैं केंद्रीय नेतृत्व पे माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय यशस्वी गृह मंत्री, हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष नड्डा जी, मैं सभी का आभार मानता हूं, केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का।
तो मोहन जी शिवराज सिंह चौहान,
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान से
आराम से उधर ले क्या हो रही है? तो आप देख सकते हैं,
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। हमसे ये थे मनोहर लाल जी, जिन्होंने साफ तौर से कहा कि सबसे राय लेने के बाद ही ये फैसला किया गया है, और 2024 की दृष्टि की जहाँ तक बात है, और सब मिलजुल करके काम करेंगे संगठन, और संगठन के पुराने आदमी, इसलिए इनका पार्टी के लोगों ने, विधायकों ने नाम तय किया, उसके बाद अलग।
Okay, lots of reactions coming in at this point of time. Other BJP chief ministers, including Manohar Lal Khattar, are there from Haryana and other places to welcome the new chief minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mama 2.0. Reactions from Shivraj Singh Chouhan is something that the journalists will be looking for very, very keenly. There is speculation about what happens with Shivraj Singh Chouhan next. Does he move to the centre? Does he get into the party organisation for 2024? We don't know just yet. And as the choice of Dr. Mohan Yadav suggests, these decisions are often made completely out of view.
Nobody could have guessed this, even Dr. Mohan Yadav or his two deputies, because even now, when Mr. Jagdish Devda was asked about being deputy CM, he still says that I have no idea, it hasn't been communicated. We congratulate Dr. Mohan Yadav. But it's, bound to unsettle, Shiv, especially because let's look at, the background to it all. You had a Shivraj Singh Chouhan who for 3 terms have been running the state of Madhya Pradesh. These are practically his men, some of them. And now you're making that generational shift. Now, how are you going to accommodate Shivraj Singh Chouhan? Have you given him a raw deal, keeping in mind it was a pro-incumbency vote? But I'll tell you what's common, where these 3 come together. These were names that nobody was expecting. I don't think even they themselves knew.
Manohar Lal Khattar is speaking, Preeti. You're just going to cut into that for a moment.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी, जो हरियाणा के सीएम हैं, जो आज यहाँ मेन ऑब्जर्वर बन के आए थे। उनके साथ 2 ऑब्जर्वर भी थे। मनोहर लाल जी, किस ढंग से ये चयन हुआ, कौन प्रस्तावक थे, और ये नाम अचानक जो चर्चा में भी नहीं था?
देखिए, ये सारा विषय प्रदेश की जो एक टीम होती है और विधायक दल के जो प्रमुख लोग होते हैं वो सब बैठ करके विचार करते हैं, एक नाम पर विचार करते हैं, और उसके बाद पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड के उस पर मोहर लगती है, तब जा करके ये सारी चीज़ें होती हैं। प्रदेश के जो वर्तमान मुख्यमंत्री हैं उन्होंने स्वयं इच्छा पकड़ी है कि इस नाम का प्रस्तावना मैं करूँगा। उन्होंने प्रस्तावना की और बाकी जो प्रमुख 9-10 लोग हैं उन्होंने उसका समर्थन किया, अनुमोदन किया, और उसके बाद पूरे विधायक दल ने उसका समर्थन किया।
अचानक ये नाम कोई चर्चा में नहीं, ना राजनीति,
ये विषय जो यहाँ के स्थानीय नेता हैं, ये उनकी आपसी समझ होती है। ये इस विषय में हमारा पर्यवेक्षक के नाते कोई रोल नहीं होता है। पर्यवेक्षक का तो ये है सब मिल करके जिसका भी चयन करे मिलकर चयन कर ले।
आलाकमान की क्या भूमिका थी इसमें?
इसमें जब ये नाम कोई जाता है तो उसके ऊपर वहाँ के लोग चर्चा करते हैं, उसके ऊपर मोहर लगाते हैं, उन्होंने मोहर लगाई और घोषणा हो गई।
तो कैसे रहेंगे आगे की 2024 की राजनीति को देखते हुए मोहन यादव जी?
देखिए, निश्चित रूप से जो मुझे जानकारी ली है, और वो 3 बार के विधायक हैं और संगठन से जुड़े हुए पुराने व्यक्ति हैं। उन्होंने संघ में, उन्होंने विद्यार्थी परिषद में, उन्होंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी में एक लंबा काम किया है। मुझे लगता है कि इस प्रदेश को आगे लेकर के बढ़ेंगे।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। हमसे ये थे मनोहर लाल जी, जिन्होंने साफ तौर से कहा कि सबसे राय लेने के बाद ही ये फैसला किया गया है और 2024 की दृष्टि की जहाँ तक बात है, और सब मिलजुल करके काम करेंगे संगठन, और संगठन के पुराने आदमी, इसलिए इनका पार्टी के लोगों ने, विधायकों ने
नहीं होता है। चलो प्रेस
Huge scrum of journalists obviously trying to get a word in from the new chief minister. He will hold a press conference shortly, we're told, so we will be live on that. Polomi, quickly coming to you. What happens next? You're on the ground now. Is there going to be a press conference shortly? Where is Dr. Mohan Yadav going to go from here? Can you just give us a sense of what happens next? Okay, we'll go to Polomi in just a moment. We've got family reactions of Dr. Mohan Yadav. You can imagine their surprise. Dr. Mohan Yadav himself was completely taken aback when his name was announced on stage. So you can only imagine his family. He wouldn't have had the time to even contact them. So they watched it all on India Today's channels. Just take a look at these reactions coming in from Dr. Mohan Yadav's family, the family of the new Chief Minister of MP.
हाँ, मेहनत किया था, भगवान ने फल दिया है और मेहनत करेंगे आगे चल के।
बहुत खुशी हो रही है हमारे भाई जीता तो, और सभी का करते हैं और बहुत तरक्की करेंगे और आगे भी बहुत तरक्की करेंगे। वो
सीढ़ी है कि कड़ी मेहनत से चढ़ी है, उसका फल आज हमारे मामा जी को हम सबको मिला है, क्योंकि उनने और ईमानदारी से, बहुत ईमानदारी से करा है देश के लिए काम, तो उसका फल उनको मिला है।
बहुत खुशी की बात है। उन संघर्ष भी बहुत है। 1984 से सतत काम किया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी का, और हम विद्यार्थी परिषद के कार्यकर्ता के रूप में राष्ट्रीय स्तर तक काम किया है और सतत काम किया है। निश्चित रूप से उसका परिणाम है, बड़ों का आशीर्वाद है, पार्टी का आशीर्वाद है और बाबा महाकाल का आशीर्वाद।
उस टाइम में उनसे मिला, उन्होंने कहा अभी निर्णय आएगा, जो भी आएगा अच्छा आएगा।
और मामी जी से भी बात हुई कि सिर्फ मामा?
नहीं, अभी हाल तो मामा से अब बात करेंगे, अभी निकलने का इंतजार कर रहे हैं हम सब।
मामी जी को इन्फॉर्मेशन टीवी के थ्रू ही मिली?
नहीं, टीवी के द्वारा मिल गई उनको, वो अभी मैंने बात करी तो उनको मिल गई सबको।
Preeti is still with me. We've got our reporters joining us on the ground in just a moment. Preeti, I want you to very quickly, analyze and break down for me how many boxes this decision actually ticks. Dr. Mohan Yadav, 3-time MLA from Ujjain, that has its own implications. Someone who's been an education minister from the OBC community. What do you think?
Let's look at it. I'll tell you what, okay. None of these names anybody was expecting, Shiv. Forget about journalists. Yeah. Even the men in question, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh did not expect that he was going to be announced. He heard it while his name was being announced. Having said that, what is common between the three of them? They've all actually been long-time workers. They've risen from the grassroots, worked for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Under Shivraj.
Under Shivraj. But have been loyal workers where the party is in question. All three of them have been cabinet ministers. All three of them. If you have Dr. Mohan Yadav, who's been the higher education minister, you have Mr. Devra, who's been the finance minister, and then you have Mr. Shukla. Out of all three of them, if there was one name which, I heard as an outside chance of chief minister, that was Rajendra Shukla's name from Rewa.
Okay. So you did hear that name?
That name you heard, but it was like an outside chance.
Right.
If not Prahlad Patel, if not, to uska naam ho sakta hai.
Yeah.
But none of these other two. So they've been, sitting MLAs at least twice over, if not more. They've been loyal workers of the BJP. All three of them are cabinet ministers.
Yeah.
All three of them represent three very different sets of caste dynamics.
Yeah.
And why do I say that? It's very important, you know, as much as we'd like to say caste doesn't matter, but when it comes down to, you know, the ballot or elections, it matters. And here you have the representation. Importantly, what was the biggest hurdle in making that generational shift was to remove an OBC chief minister, then what? A Lodi OBC in Prahlad Patel didn't quite fit the bill, but a Yadav fits the bill, you know, perfectly.
Correct.
Because, you know, it also flies against every claim which possibly the opposition is looking to mount, and furthermore, on the OBC card going into elections 2024.
That was actually going to be my next question, and I'm going to get into that, Preeti.
You have a Yadav at the helm of affairs. On the other hand, Madhya Pradesh is a state, and also the Bharatiya Janata Party has a huge support where the upper caste is concerned. So the BJP needs to look like that they are with the OBC, but they cannot antagonize the upper caste. Therefore comes in a Rajendra Shukla. On the other hand, you have the representation from Mandsaur, you know, Mr. Devra, Jagdish Devra, and he is a Dalit face. It is a reserved seat
so you've
in
got
Mandsaur,
OBC, upper caste and Dalit in one
So you have representation of all three. The tribal element might be slightly missing, but look at it. Look at the mix. You know, it's a thought-over mix.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it ticks many of those boxes. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the original Mamaji, the outgoing Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, has congratulated Dr. Mohan Yadav, the man who was a cabinet minister in his government, who now replaces him in the Bhopal throne. These are live pictures, mind you, of Dr. Mohan Yadav. He's about to speak. There's a press conference that's being held. He's going to make a statement of sorts. I don't know if he's going to be taking questions, but these are live pictures coming in of the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. All the trappings of his position have coalesced around him immediately. His supporters, they're all there. Let's listen.
लाइव करना है क्या फोटो क्या कहना चाहेंगे लोग क्या माना कि वैसे रेसलिंग वाले
Mohan Yadav is about to speak. You know, I'm guessing that there's a huge furor over there. Lots of journalists, lots of cameras. You know, viewer, you know how it is in elections. There's a huge amount of methodical chaos as hundreds of cameras attempt to get that first best angle of the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Obviously, India Today and Aaj Tak have the best view of Dr. Mohan Yadav right before he opens up and takes some questions, makes that opening statement. I wonder if he's, you know, had a chance to let all of this sink in. He's allowing himself to smile a bit, but I imagine how he must be feeling. Not having expected this fully, certainly not having been briefed, you know, prior to this, as Preeti said, and, you know, being caught completely off guard with the state's biggest position. How do you like that for the way the BJP does things? There are critics of those who say the BJP took 8 days to appoint a chief minister. Justifiable politics played out over that count. Remember, the Rajasthan chief minister hasn't been announced yet. That's going to happen around this time tomorrow. But as far as Dr. Mohan Yadav is concerned, this is not just an anointment of a chief minister, but as Preeti pointed out, something that sends out a message across caste dynamics, across the way the BJP does things, across the angle of battle readiness for 2024. And I imagine, you know, those who are considering themselves probables in Rajasthan will be wondering.
Anyone is a probable now.
Anyone is a probable.
You know, anyone is a everybody would be.
Okay, they're going to speak now, Preeti. We'll speak about Rajasthan after this.
नवनिर्वाचित विधायक दल की बैठक हमारे केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक आदरणीय मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी के नेतृत्व में आदरणीय के लक्ष्मण जी और आदरणीय सुश्री आशा लकड़ा जी राष्ट्रीय सचिव तीनों केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक के नेतृत्व में बैठक संपन्न हुई है। उस बैठक में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे वरिष्ठ नेता मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने मोहन यादव जी का नाम प्रस्तावित किया मध्य प्रदेश के नए नेता के लिए, विधायक दल के नेता के लिए। और हमारे केंद्रीय मंत्री रहे वरिष्ठ नेता आदरणीय नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी, आदरणीय कैलाश विजयवर्गीय जी, आदरणीय प्रहलाद पटेल जी, आदरणीय मध्य प्रदेश के हमारे सभी वरिष्ठ नेतृत्व ने उनके प्रस्ताव का आज अभी समर्थन किया है। और मैं मोहन यादव जी मध्य प्रदेश के विधायक दल के नए नेता के तौर पर आज वो निर्वाचित हुए हैं। मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी मध्य प्रदेश की ओर से, मध्य प्रदेश के करोड़ों करोड़ कार्यकर्ताओं की ओर से उन्हें बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। इस अवसर पर भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, दुनिया के सर्वाधिक लोकप्रिय नेता, देश के गृह मंत्री, भारतीय राजनीति के आधुनिक चाणक्य, जिन्होंने मध्य प्रदेश के चुनाव में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में मध्य प्रदेश के मन में मोदी और मोदी जी के मन में मध्य प्रदेश के अभियान को जनता ने जो आशीर्वाद दिया, कुशल रणनीति अमित शाह जी के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सम्मानीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा जी का जो आशीर्वाद मिला, मैं हमारे नेतृत्व को, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, माननीय अमित शाह जी, माननीय नड्डा जी को और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे नेता जो मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान को भी, पूरे नेतृत्व को बधाई देता हूं, हृदय से अभिनंदन करता हूं कि एक ऐसे कार्यकर्ता को जो विचार के लिए प्रतिबद्ध होकर, जिन्होंने अपना संपूर्ण जीवन छात्र राजनीति से लेकर विचार के लिए काम करने का लगातार जो प्रयास किया है, अथक मेहनत और परिश्रम के साथ जमीन से निकले हुए सामान्य परिवार के व्यक्तित्व को आज मध्य प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी के विधायक दल का नेता चुना गया है। मैं पुनः एक बार मोहन यादव जी का अभिनंदन करता हूं, बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। और हमें विश्वास है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में यह मध्य प्रदेश, जो हमने कहा कि अपने स्वर्णिम मध्य प्रदेश बनाने के लिए, मध्य प्रदेश को आत्मनिर्भर मध्य प्रदेश बनाने का जो संकल्प है, आज हमारे मोहन यादव जी नेता चुने गए। उनके नेतृत्व में मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में हम लगातार मध्य प्रदेश को स्वर्णिम मध्य प्रदेश बनाने का संकल्प आज लिया है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने उस दिशा में उस संकल्प को पूरा करने के लिए मोहन यादव जी से लेकर के पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रतिबद्ध है। मैं पुनः एक बार मोहन यादव जी को बधाई देता हूं और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का, माननीय अमित शाह जी का, माननीय नड्डा जी का, माननीय शिवराज जी का, नरेंद्र सिंह जी का, कैलाश जी का, प्रहलाद जी का, सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत हृदय से धन्यवाद करता हूं और मोहन जी को पुनः एक बार बधाई।
अरे रुक जाइए ना, चलिए बोलिए।
प्रदेश अध्यक्ष माननीय वी.डी. शर्मा जी, हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय
number of cameras and jammers at that location. Okay.
मध्य प्रदेश ने पूरे देश में एक अलग पहचान बनाई है। मैं माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी का, यशस्वी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष माननीय जेपी नड्डा जी का, मैं हमारे प्रदेश के यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री माननीय शिवराज सिंह जी का, यशस्वी अध्यक्ष माननीय वी.डी. शर्मा जी का, हमारे अपने वरिष्ठ नेता माननीय नरेंद्र सिंह जी तोमर साहब का, माननीय कैलाश जी विजयवर्गीय राष्ट्रीय महामंत्री भाजपा, माननीय प्रहलाद पटेल जी वरिष्ठ नेता, माननीय राकेश सिंह जी और सभी नए और आज विधायक दल के नेता के नाते से हमने सबने मिलकर संकल्प किया। मेरे जैसे छोटे कार्यकर्ता को एक बड़ी जवाबदारी दी। मैं जवाबदारी की इस बड़े काम को बता सकता हूं कि केवल ये भाजपा ही है जो सामान्य से छोटे से कार्यकर्ताओं को भी इतनी बड़ी जवाबदारी देती है। यही हमारा अपना भाजपा का चरित्र है। भाजपा के इस नए दायित्व के मैं लिए हृदय से आभार भी मानता हूं और आप सबके विश्वास के साथ निश्चित रूप से जो विकास का कारवा बढ़ाया माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान ने और यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री के नेतृत्व में, निश्चित रूप से हम इसको आगे बढ़ाएंगे। एक बार फिर मैं हमारे लिए जो स्लोगन था एमपी के मन में मोदी और मोदी के मन में एमपी, इस स्लोगन के आधार पर निश्चित रूप से उनके विकास के सपने को लेकर आगे चलेंगे। मैं एक बार फिर हृदय से माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित जी, माननीय नड्डा जी, माननीय वीडी जी का आभार मानता हूँ, माननीय शिवराज सिंह जी का आभार मानता हूँ, जिन्होंने मुझे बहुत बड़ी जवाबदारी दी। हृदय से आप सबका आभार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और जनता, करोड़ों करोड़ जनता जिनने इस निर्वाचन में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को प्रचंड बहुमत से विजयी दिलाई थी, निश्चित रूप से मैं सभी विधायक साथियों का, सभी कार्यकर्ताओं का, जिनके अथक परिश्रम से ये अद्वितीय दिन आवास आया था, ये 5वीं बार भाजपा की सरकार बन रही है। निश्चित रूप से हम सब मिलकर के और प्रदेश की जनता की अपेक्षा के आधार पर इसको आगे ले जाएंगे। एक बार आप सबका आभार।
अभी गवर्नर हाउस जा रहे हैं, माननीय विधायक दल की बैठक की कार्रवाई का मैं पत्र सौंपने के लिए हम गवर्नर हाउस जा रहे हैं।
Dr. Mohan Yadav making his first statement as the new Chief Minister designate of Madhya Pradesh. He's just left from the press conference venue now to head to the Governor's house where the proceedings of the legislature party meeting, the MLA meeting, will be shared with the Governor, and the paperwork begins to anoint Dr. Mohan Yadav as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Poulomi is with us back again in Bhopal. Poulomi, when is the swearing-in ceremony? Take us through what else we know about the days ahead.
Well, the swearing-in ceremony will, of course, happen after, the legislative party meeting in Rajasthan. Again, you can see CM security over there, which is arriving. Most of the central observers have left. Other leaders like Kailash Vijayvargiya and the rest have left as well. But clearly, the change of guard is quite literally happening, Shiv. Behind me, Shivraj Singh Chouhan is headed towards Raj Bhavan right now to tender in his resignation. Remember that he was the caretaker chief minister so far of Madhya Pradesh. He will be tendering in his resignation. We'll be getting those pictures coming in live in a short while from now. After which we expect that Dr. Mohan Yadav will head to Raj Bhavan to stake claim to form government. Tomorrow, of course, the Chattisgarh government will be sworn in. Vishnu Deo Sai's government will be sworn in Raipur. Meanwhile, Rajasthan will elect the BJP leader of the legislative party, who will then become the chief minister designate of Rajasthan. And subsequent to that, we'll probably have a swearing-in ceremony in both the states. So a lot of activity. Many spoke about, the time that was spent by the Bharatiya Janata Party in making these selections and these choices. Okay. But clearly, the BJP has sprung a surprise yet again. And like one of the supporters over here reminded me that, it's very interesting that Manohar Lal Khattar was the one to announce Dr. Mohan Yadav's name, because when Manohar Lal Khattar was announced as the BJP's chief ministerial face for Haryana, nobody knew that his name was in the mix at that point of time.
Very, very similar surprise, symbolic there as well. And, like we just saw, the deputy chief minister, one of the two deputy chief minister, was iffy about even accepting that he's been named the new deputy chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. So things still very much in motion. We're going to take a very quick break. We're back with this. First reactions from the new dispensation in Madhya Pradesh right after this break. Stay with us.
Today Group sweeps the ITA 2023 awards from Best English News Channel, India Today TV.
Popular English News Channel, the award goes to India Today.
To Best Hindi News Channel, Aaj Tak.
Popular Hindi News Channel, and the award goes to Aaj Tak.
And Best Documentary OTT from Best Talk Show.
Best Chat Show, Rajdeep Sardesai.
To Best Male Anchor.
The award goes to Rahul Kanwal, News Track.
And the ultimate ITA Scroll of Honor for Nari Shakti, Exemplary Leadership.
It gives me the greatest possible pleasure that Aaj Tak and India Today have once again been judged India's most popular channels at the ITA Awards. As someone who lives and breathes these channels, this honor is a real affirmation. Yes, there's a lot of pressure on us, and the pressure is yours. We always want to be bigger, better, faster, and more for you, our viewer.
Once again, the gold standard wins. Most trusted, most awarded. India Today, India's maximum channel.
Lalduhoma has been part of Mizoram's political map since the mid-1980s. It was a long, winding road for him to the top job in Mizoram. A former IPS officer who resigned from service after his glorious crackdown on the Goa drug racket at the behest of the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and became catalyst peacemaker between Indian government and Mizo National Front insurgency led by Lal Denga. He joined Congress and became an MP in 1984. But after Indira Gandhi's assassination, he was unhappy with the progress of peace talks and left Congress.
I used to be there with the then Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, day in and day out for a couple of years, and we are very close to each other. And she requested me to resign and help her in negotiating with the rebel leader, Mr. Lal Denga. And that is the way I joined the politics.
The movement started by Lalduhoma's ZPM is being compared with the Aam Aadmi Party. This time, there are people from different walks of life who have emerged winners in the electoral battle. Most of them are young, vibrant faces waiting to change and develop their state. Under the leadership of 74-year-old Lalduhoma.
A sensational daylight murder. A multi-state manhunt for the two shooters. Now big breakthrough in Karni Sena Chief Sukhdev Singh Gogamedi murder. In a joint operation by Rajasthan Police and Delhi Police Crime Branch, two shooters and their lone accomplice were nabbed in Chandigarh before fleeing to Goa. Shooters Nitin Fauji, Rohit Rathore and co-conspirator Ujjain Singh, who supplied logistics, are being grilled by Rajasthan cops.
जो तीन मेन अक्यूज थे वो गिरफ्तार हो गए हैं, जिसमें नितिन फौजी, रोहित राठौड़ और एक उनका अकम्प्लिस उधम सिंह, तीनों को गिरफ्तार करके राजस्थान पुलिस के साथ ज्वाइंट ऑपरेशन में अब उनको राजस्थान भेजा जा रहा है.
India Today accessed exclusive CCTV images from Hisar railway station where the accused was spotted. The cops detained manager of the hotel where the shooters had stayed using fake ID cards.
मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि जो भी इसमें तफ्तीश में जो भी तथ्य उद्घाटित होंगे उसके आधार पे पुलिस आगे बढ़ेगी, लेकिन ये तो क्लियर है कि ये शूटर्स तो इन्होंने अंजाम दिया है, लेकिन इसके पीछे कोई शैतानी दिमाग है और इसमें एक ऑर्गेनाइज्ड गैंग है और प्रथम दृष्टया रोहित गोदारा और लॉरेंस बिश्नोई की संलिप्तता प्रतीत होती है.
India Today has learnt the shooters fled to Manali after killing Gogamedi. but were nabbed by cops using technical surveillance, which revealed the shooters were in touch with key aides of gangster Rohit Kodara. Shooters also revealed that Gogamedi was killed over a land dispute.
Quality today. In Delhi, 315. In Mumbai, 106. In Kolkata, 179. In Bangalore, 61. In Chennai, 90. In Hyderabad, 91.
Eight days after a monster mandate in Madhya Pradesh, it's the end of Shivraj in MP. Shivraj Singh Chouhan resigns as the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh on the back of a historic mandate that he was part of, an anti-incumbency bending mandate that has delivered the BJP back to power with a record 2/3 majority. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the outgoing Chief Minister, congratulates his successor, Dr. Mohan Yadav, a man who was a minister in his government, a man who served under him for years and who now takes his chair at the Chief Minister's office of Bhopal. These are images on your right that you're getting from the Raj Bhavan, where you can see Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the outgoing Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, handing his resignation to the Madhya Pradesh governor to make way for the new government's formation in the state of MP. Dr. Mohan Yadav will be arriving there shortly to stake claim and become the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. A date for the swearing-in has not yet been announced. It will be announced very, very shortly. We understand in the next few minutes we'll get some clarity on when that swearing-in ceremony will take place. Remember that the political suspense over anointments are not over yet. Madhya Pradesh done and dusted, even though it took 8 days for the BJP to arrive at a decision. Tomorrow, Rajasthan suspense will also end with the BJP committing to announce a Chief Minister in the state of Rajasthan. Hemendra and Polomi continue to be with me live from Bhopal. Hemendra, coming to you very quickly first. Any clarity on when the swearing-in ceremony could take place, and what more are we expecting to see for the rest of the day today?
Well, there's no confirmation on this yet, but it's being talked, and people are saying that most likely the swearing-in ceremony could happen on the 13th along with Chattisgarh. Clarity or confirmation on this is yet to come, but this is the word that is going around, that the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mohan Yadav, is going to take oath on the 13th. We are awaiting confirmation from the government, from the Bharatiya Janata Party on this, and as soon as we get confirmation on that, we'll report back to you.
Okay, Hemendra and Polomi, continue to stay with us. I'm going to slip into a very short break. Akshita takes over right after this, where we continue our rolling coverage of the new dispensation in Madhya Pradesh. One mama is out. A new mama takes office very, very shortly. It's the new Raja of Bhopal. Coverage continues on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Vishnu Deosai is the new Chattisgarh Chief Minister. A prominent tribal face of the BJP, Deosai won from the Kunkuri seat and belongs to the Samurai community. The BJP scripted history in Chattisgarh by naming Deosai as the Chief Minister, a tribal who will hold the top post of the state. Vishnu Deosai is seen as a loyal BJP Karyakarta who joined the party in 1980. He's climbed his way up and has a considerable amount of ministerial experience. A 4-time MP, a 2-time MLA, he even served as MOS Steel in the first Narendra Modi government in 2014. Add to this impressive profile, Vishnu Deosai is considered very close to former Chattisgarh Chief Minister Raman Singh and the RSS, and that's why has the backing of MLAs. While the BJP announcement has come as a surprise because Deosai hasn't been the face of the campaign in Chattisgarh, he has played a key role in the win, having led the BJP state unit from 2020 to 2022. However, there's been a tribal factor in BJP's win. BJP swept the tribal belt in Chattisgarh after winning Bastar and Sarguja regions. BJP bagged 8 out of 12 seats in Bastar and wrested all 14 seats from Congress in Sarguja. Former Deputy Chief Minister T.S. Singh Deo and State Congress Chief Deepak Bej were among those defeated. The move to put Vishnu Deosai on the saddle assumes importance ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, as the BJP is clearly putting the focus on wooing the tribal vote. Bureau Report, India Today.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 24 and minimum 11 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 29 and minimum 24 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 26 and minimum 15 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 25 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 28 and minimum 24 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 28 and minimum 17 degrees.
The world is expected to record an all-time high in temperature this year, which will have dire consequences on the planet, leading to irreversible damage to life on Earth as we know it. The United Nations Secretary General begged world leaders to deliver on climate change. COP28 started on a good note with the operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund, a huge win for the COP28 presidency on the opening day of the conference. Protesters at the COP28 climate talks in Dubai called for additional financing for the newly established Loss and Damage Fund, as well as an end to subsidies for the fossil fuel industry. The other important development is the signing of the Global Renewables and Energy Efficiency Pledge. As many as 118 countries signed on to pledge to triple installed renewable energy capacity by 2030. This move aims to diminish the proportion of fossil fuels in the world's energy output.
In fact, the Emirati head of the United Nations Climate Conference has insisted that he respects climate science after he came under fire over his statement in an interview where he questioned the science on fossil fuels. However, recent analysis by the Kick Big Polluters Out coalition reveals an alarming surge in the number of fossil fuel lobbyists granted access to the climate talks. An oil-rich host was always a risk, but dubious interpretations of climate science, a UAE hydrocarbons production surge, and an influx of big fossil lobbyists has left alarm bells ringing. Bureau Report, India Today.
Traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Presented by ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. बनाऊंगा मैं, बनेगा भारत. म्यूचुअल फंड्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर करें शुरू. LIC हर पल आपके साथ. The fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron range.
End of Shivraj in MP. BJP springs mega surprise in Madhya Pradesh. Mama ji out, Mohan Yadav in.
मैं सभी का आभार मानता हूं, केंद्र नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का.
BJP goes for generational change.